All right. Ask the question, Joseph Smith. All right. First question. SK, I see you're up. Why don't you ask the question?
Yo. Hey, all right, trunk turbine, futures V10, 20% of incoming funds go to it. Can you detail like how those funds are gonna sit in, like, is it immediately gonna buy trunk and then just sit as a treasury and then 1% APR come out and buy something? Like I'm a little lost on the trunk turbine part.
So the difference between a turbine and a treasury is a treasury is a vault that holds a particular associated token. It allows you to withdraw any other tokens that aren't the primary token. Well, it actually allows you to withdraw any token that's in the treasury as long as the requester is on the whitelist. And for that reason, trunk treasuries come with some amount of operational risk, right? So, but the good part is that those whitelists are small, and when the keys get revoked for like say the whole platform, or for certain treasuries, the keys get revoked. That means that this is one and done. Like how the system works is how the system works, and that's it. But the APR, or just how much funds can flow out of a treasury, the treasury doesn't control that. It's the requester that controls how much funds come out of your treasury. So for example, if you had like a malicious treasury or an improperly coded, malicious contract that had access to the treasury, you could have bad results, right? So that's why, the engineering involved in growing the ecosystem and adding new functionality is really critical right now, and which is why I take my time and test everything and all that stuff and do what we've done, and basically that whitelist functionality has been there pretty much since the inception of the network, but post the original exploit, the whitelists have really come in clutch to grow governance contracts to kind of protect some of the more important every treasury is important, and protect them. The way the turbines work is BNB comes in. There's a sweep function there's a acquire function that can be used to buy whatever underlying asset is tied to the turbine, and then there's the fixed governance strategy which is built into the turbine that cannot be changed. There's a fixed APR that cannot be changed. So we're like, one question people might have is, well, why are all the governance contracts set at 1% APR? Well, it's just kind of like the law of big numbers. 1% is actually a huge number if the principal is large. So let's aim for a large dollar value. Let's aim for more than 3,000 participants in futures, or whatever it is, for a little less than 4,000. Let's get it to 40,000. Let's get it to 100,000. This is a service that people actually need. Let's get it to super large numbers. Then 1% of that is going to be 1% of like $100 million. It's $1 million. Like that. We can get the big numbers. So that's why that works the way it does. But basically turbines are immutable with no levers. And by the way, some people ask the question like, you say it in the white paper or in Marketecture, it says immutable for the contracts. Well, yes, every contract is immutable. It gets deployed. There's no proxy contracts in the entire network. Those contracts are immutable. They either participate in the network because they're wired to something else or they're not. But they don't change, and they may have some levers like knobs you can turn, but very similar to your car is immutable. But you can turn it left, you can turn it right, you can press the gas pedal, you can press the brakes, you can add gas to it or not, right? You can plug in a new battery, but the car itself, for the most part, by default, is immutable. And, if you start doing body work and stuff like that, yeah, you're mutating it. But like the standard usage, it's an immutable thing. You just buy it, right? So, or a better way to put it is you buy a phone and just say it didn't have over-the-air updates or anything. It's just you buy it. You either can add electricity to it and use it, or you can't. But basically, the way these contracts work is they can be added or removed from the network. They're immutable as individual contracts. The network is definitely upgradable and mutable by basically adding these robust, immutable building blocks. So futures is made up of a combination of immutable contracts that are Legoed together. And then there's sort of base contracts like the futures vault and stuff like that sit at the base. All the data contracts sit at the base, and then we add on to them. So, but turbines, basically similar to treasuries with built-in governance contracts that take BNB in, acquire the underlying asset, and then sell off the underlying asset for elephant and send it to the treasury, all hard-coded.
Gotcha. So like Bitcoin turbine, it's going to take the incoming BNB, flip it to the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin, and then that APR goes in, buys elephant token at the set APR. The trunk turbine separately, BNB comes in, and then what asset is it switching it to right then and there?
It's buying trunk from the WBNB LP, backed LP, the trunk WBNB LP, storing trunk, and then selling that trunk back into the LP to buy elephant on a 1% APR as well.
Got it. That was the clarity I needed. Okay, I understand now. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, next question.
If nobody else, I'll ask another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with some of the chatter and the MTG, can you elaborate why it's important for us to show the strength, right? We want to show strength in supply of trunk and liquidity of trunk over on Solana. Is there a magic number you're looking for? And why is it important for the community?
Debo?
No, he ain't calling me.
Hello? Oh, go on mute if you're not going to ask a question. Yeah.
Gotcha. Did that question come through for me?
Your question was, why do we need to show strength on Solana?
Yeah, just is there a magic number in supply and liquidity that you're chasing for the community to bridge over, buy, hold, bridge, hold, whatever on Solana? Because some people might just be complacent with leaving it and trump it, but I'm answering people about why it's important to show that strength. So I just wanted to hear from you why supply and liquidity is important on Solana specifically for trunk to help us out.
Well, up until they fumbled the bag by not really, continuing to stress test and improve the networking protocols and everything. Besides that, they did have all the eyeballs for the meme tokens. And it's very clear that people don't have time for anything really outside of, chasing X's with meme coins, like in this cycle, right? So, people are pretty much wrecked, got drained from the last cycle and the bear market that came after it. So this time around, big institutions have been buying Bitcoin, getting geared up for Bitcoin. It's very clear that Fidelity has no intention of there's no need for them to go on chain. If society is going to continue to work, then people are going to still have to go to work, have jobs, have retirement plans, and Fidelities of the world, BlackRocks of the world, pretty much all traditional finance, especially as it pertains to retirement, is already plugged in, already has those rails built. So all they needed to do was make Bitcoin look like a stock, which is what they have achieved with the ETFs. So, what's happening with what you're seeing in this sort of pre-bull market, or this early phase of the bull market? What you're seeing is retail that stayed, retail that never left, crypto natives moving money from one project to the other. So some projects have outright died, like early on in the cycle, they outright died. You saw that phenomenon with us. We were able to build momentum and grow. But then as institutional money started funding certain narratives, you're seeing people start, the phenomenon that was already happening, you saw that actually happen with Elephant. And, people get in other people's ears, and people start dumping Elephant, a token with a ton of meat on the bone. Basically, all the tokens with tons of meat on the bone that weren't part of a particular narrative got dumped for whatever narrative was hot and being promoted by either funded developers or VCs, right? So that's what actually happened, and the communities, we're fighting our way back, but we also need to be part of that narrative, because meme coins in particular are a more equitable version of the NFT narrative of the last cycle. NFTs were good for developers. NFTs were good for artists, basically creators of the NFTs, but not so good for bag holders of the NFTs. Being non-fungible, liquidity is a very complicated, just a minefield. And when Blur came out, it kind of fixed a little bit of that, but everybody just wants to sell, right? So it just dumped it. So you get the equivalent of everybody just putting all their tokens on the market. We've seen what it looks like to put, when you put too many NFTs on the marketplace, it creates a situation where instead of the NFTs commanding the value that they have, the whole marketplace becomes illiquid because it's just a glut of inventory. And if it's just like if in a neighborhood, if you put too many houses on the market, it just makes people think nobody wants to live there. So nobody wants to buy. Nobody wants to hold that, move into that house. If everybody wants to sell, nobody wants to buy. So you have to remember that with any asset. You have to hold your nose and let the value accumulate if there is true value there. And because the NFTs, for example, are paid out in Elephant, no matter what, rain or shine, as long as Elephant has liquidity, there's value in those NFTs. So people should need to treat them like that and keep them off the market. But getting back to Solana, Solana is where all the eyeballs are for the meme coins because of the low fees and everything. It was fast, and the usability was very high. So It just was less complicated than Ethereum. Now, I think the narrative for usability and everything is slowly transitioning to Base, and I wouldn't be surprised if Base is another place we eventually end up. But we're going to focus on Solana for now. We're going to hope Solana gets their act together. There's still a lot of good tools and teams over there in Solana. We're doing pretty well on Solana, so we're gonna stay over there. But things are gonna get rocky until they can really nail and fix these scalability issues. They're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 tries. They're supposed to release something on the 15th. I'm not that hopeful, but either way, if we get some more liquidity and supply over on the Solana side, and that's just a place where Trunk token lives, it's going to create another theater of engagement, another front for us to fight on. In some ways, it's going to give us some insulation from the arbitrageurs and degenerates, so that we can do a better job of just, getting supply into the hands of the strong, while also painting a chart that people can get excited about. So, people who've made a lot of money on Solana, they're gonna try to tend to, at the end of the day, they're gonna want to make more money on Solana than anywhere else. There's a certain amount of, are people loyal to chains? I would say for the most part, no. But I think in these early innings, to the extent that they're still with and sort of high flyers over on Solana, Pith is on Solana, Jupe is on Solana. Like, we're in good company, and if we perform, we will be supported. The support for the Trunk token has been very, very well. We've gotten very, very good support on that side. So if we continue there, we're going to get treated. Money goes where it's treated best, and I think we've done pretty well on the Solana side versus in a short period of time versus not getting basically getting no support on the BNB side. Even though I've been a BNB Martian for like over a year. It's crazy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And then last question, I guess. One of the other important reasons to have Trunk over on the Solana side is because you're still eyeballing Solana for an upcoming Savannah House launch of some kind. Any more alpha in regards to what Trunk plays into any Savannah token?
All right. So, so Savannah on Solana, though that could potentially change. But Savannah and Elephant, Savannah House is actually the name of our foundation. There'll also be token associated with that, and Trunk or Elephant will play into that somehow. I will say things like, the site's already done, logo's already done. We're just prioritizing getting futures out the door. Getting Savannah House up and running shouldn't be too complicated. But we constantly bobbing and weaving, and it's generally not good to put too many balls in the air. And so I've got quite a bit of work done for that. And now I've just kind of tabled it, focused on futures, focused on actually Stampede. Some final updates for Stampede are out. So even though Stampede's a retired project, there's some people that still haven't migrated over. So the migration experience has been optimized, made it a little bit more clear there. And that's pretty much it for Savannah House right now. Now, there will be probably, I would say, 30 days Max, we will finalize details for the Savannah House / Elephant Money activities that are going to happen during Bitcoin 2024. What I will say is that you should get your tickets for Bitcoin 2024. Plan on putting aside, maybe $50 max per ticket for Savannah House. You don't have to put down anything if you're a NFT holder. You'll have to register either way. So just do all that, and we can go from there.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Any more questions? If you didn't get wrecked this week, let's open it up a little bit. Let's find out if you're making serious money in the market. Share with the community how, and let's have a good time. Right? If you're not making money from futures or trunk or elephant, yeah, you're probably like, do I sell this? Or wait, should I sell this? The quick answer for should you sell elephant is, if you haven't sold it already, don't. And there was a time when I said, you definitely need to do what you need to do. You need to get in position for this bull market. And when I said that, there was a lot of time to make money. I personally have. I pulled out of things like Solana as late as this morning to protect positions. And I did not get liquidated. But there was a time to make money on Solana. Now's not that time. Without a strong new network token and community, which is what Solana has built. Like, for example, Base. I think Base is going to be a case of most of the money will be made by the people launching these tokens, and the people throwing money in are not going to see a lot, right? In the case of Trunk on Solana and on BNB chain, a majority of the community and holders of Trunk are already in Trumpet, which basically means you've already acquired your Trunk and you have it staked. There's 61 million out of, let's just say 100 million, because I suspect that a lot of, there's almost 3 million burnt, and I suspect that Futures V10 is going to easily chuck away 5 million at least, very quickly at these low price points, get that locked away. So what we're really talking about is 100 million supply. 61% is in the hands of the community already. What does that mean? That means don't cheat like you did with Elephant. I'm just going to call it what it was. There's a lot of salty people out there that say, oh, BT did this, BT. I didn't do anything. I run the project, operate the project like I always have. We have a performance fund. I have like a fixed budget to use to spend on marketing and other things. And I use that. So legal, development, all that. Go to conferences, all that. That's only 30,000 max a month. Go on mute if you're making noise. You're not asking questions. That doesn't explain the 100K plus being dumped by the community every day. That's what happened with Elephant. dumped the bag right before the BNB pump, dumped the bag on the lows of Elephant, on the lows of BNB, when we could have been the biggest coin out there, community coin out there, if everyone just hold. So what I'm telling you right now is don't make that mistake again, because guess what? There's nowhere to go. Everyone's chasing all these meme coins, other projects. Guess what? Every project in my feed that I track, hundreds of projects that I track, blue chips, promising coins, meme coins, projects that have been here for multiple cycles, new coins, AI coins, everywhere down the line, they all got wrecked yesterday. The only thing that didn't get wrecked was a Bankteller production. Trunk was the only thing out of hundreds of coins that I tracked. So, yeah, let's not make the same mistake again. Let's not let people come into our community, cause strife, salty people. You know what? If that person's not a millionaire, if that person hasn't built your bag, you might not want to listen to them. They might just be an asshole complaining. They might be just a person that's actually there to sabotage the project. They might be somebody who just paid a paid footer from another bullshit project. They might just be there to get in your ear to have you put your money somewhere else where eventually it's going to get rugged or it's going to bleed red like everything else. We've been here multiple cycles. We've been winning every single cycle, bull and bear markets. This is not an accident. It's not just about me. It's about everyone here. Everyone here. We're the team. But we got to play as a team. We got to row in the same direction. We can't dump on each other. If you're going to be a whale in this project, please don't accumulate and dump. Accumulate and hold and win. And at these price points, guess what? It's very easy to be a whale in Trunk. Trunk is even if you paid $1 for Trunk, pretty much all of us have paid $1 for Trunk at one time. And many of us have paid for Trunk at other price points. Guess what? We get Trunk now, a tenth of what it cost for the majority of his life. We win. So we get it now. So, what about, I love futures. I'm a futures maxi. I didn't have to worry about anything because I was in futures. That's partly true, but futures only has 3,000 something holders in it. So what's that tell you? Versus the 20,000 per in Trunk and Elephant. If you're in futures, you need to own some Trunk. If you're in futures, you need to earn some Trunk because Trunk's going to potentially going to be a great way for you to get X's. And for futures, I'm building my futures bag. I'm putting $200 every day in it. Sometimes I'm adding a bigger chunk, but I'm just growing it and I'm not withdrawing from it. I've used futures. I've withdrawn from futures. But now, in this period of time, right now, I'm building it back up. So I personally bought back my entire bag of Trunk. I've had a million in Trunk since the beginning of Stampede. I've always held on to like $1 million in Stampede / Trunk. And there was a time, and I told everybody when that was happening, they're like, hey, I'm going over to Solana, I'm trying to do some things. I'm doing some research. I got to use these tools. I got to figure out what's what. And I did that. And that's why we have this, what's going on right now. We're in prime position. But you notice how you have to do things in a timely manner. And sometimes you don't have a lot of time. Like, I want to get all this stuff done before the halving. And are we late for Solana? Are we early for Solana? I would say that there's been a few winners, coin and project wise in Solana, and there's probably going to be more. And I think we're going to be one of them. It's still early innings for us, but like now's the time. The congestion's down. Now you might want to bridge. I actually bridged some funds from Solana back over to BNB. Bought some trunk. I have a huge bag of trunk that I'm building on the BNB side. And I'm thinking about, do I want to bridge it over? Do I want to put it in Trumpet? Do I just want to hold in my wallet on the BNB side? But I have trunk on the BNB side. I think trunk is definitely, with these market conditions and everything, actively buying trunk on the BNB side is something that I'm doing. Setting up passive DCAs over on the Solana side is something that I'm doing. So I'm buying on both sides, and I'm deciding when I want to bridge. And I'm not bridging to arbitrage. I'm accumulating, so I'm not dumping on anyone's head. I'm accumulating. I'm accumulating coins, adding value to the protocol, locking in value into the LPs, getting trunk out of the LPs, raising the price of trunk. Everyone needs to do that. And we just need to hold. We keep doing that. We keep spreading the word. It is not enough just to buy. If you just buy, you're going to get exhausted and you're going to be looking to sell. No, what you have to do is buy, hold, each one teach one. Spread the word, show the chart, show your gains. DCA. If everyone does that, let me put it this way. So some of these projects like WIF, we already have more participants. For the lifetime, if you look at the lifetime of time for a project like WIF, realize that we had that many holders from the jump already in trunk. And all you need to do is buy. And just share it with one other person. That goes from 30,000 to 60,000. Then everybody from 60,000 to 120, from 120 to 240, from 240 to 480. Right? From 480 to 960,000 people. Almost 1 million people. Just by each one teach one bringing one extra person on. So, yeah, there's and another thing is, some people parrot back, oh, you said this, you said that. Well, when did I say it? Right? There's times to be defensive, there's times to be offensive. I build systems that work in every market condition. They're going to be more appealing, work extra well in bearish conditions. A stablecoin backed meme coin is not going to be as sexy as a gas token backed meme coin in a bull run. So Solana pumping from $8 to all the way back up to $200, and stablecoins being backed by that. Meme coins being backed by that. Those meme coins got some extra oomph, some extra push upwards. Whereas stablecoin backed meme coin is going to be dependent on the community sentiment. Well, it's time for everyone who's salty, people who are sitting on the sidelines, haven't bought any trunk, people sitting on the sidelines expecting other people to pump their bags just so you can dump on them at $1. You guys don't get it. Stay poor. And as much as it hurts for you to dump on us at $1, guess what? We're going to be prepared for you. We're going to buy up all your bags, and we're going to keep on moving without you. That's what's going to happen. Or you can just dust yourself off, not be salty, and get back in the game and win. Understand that in a war for financial freedom, you're not going to win every battle. But we've won more battles than we've lost, which is why we're here today, which is why we have the liquidity that we have today, and which is why we have the opportunity to change our lives today. Now, you know, the people who use futures, you know, they've helped sustain the elephant token. They've helped sustain this protocol. And for that, I have weighed every single decision, and which is why the elephant treasury, Bertha, is sacrosanct. We have not pulled a single dime out of the elephant treasury that hasn't been under governance, under an initial set of governance contracts that haven't changed. And I think that's one of the reasons why futures is still standing strong right now. With the things that are going on with Trump, it would be so easy to pull 1 million, 2 million out and add that to the liquidity over on Solana, to pump the bags of trunk holders right now. That would be so easy, right? But there's always the other side of the coin. You take a whole bunch of liquidity from Elephant, you put it into Trunk, guess what? A whole bunch of people unstake from Trumpet and dump. The people who are sitting by complacent all of a sudden wake up and are malicious and dump on the people who've been working hard to actually sustain this protocol. So that's why we don't do things like that. And that's why I always ask you to do things that are hard. Because if things were easy, everybody would be doing it. And everybody would be rich. And everybody would be, milk and honey. But that's not the way the world works. Because to succeed in life, you have to do things that are hard on a consistent basis. So, you want to look good in the mirror, you got to go to the gym. Discipline. People talk about generational wealth. Guess what? Generational wealth means that you got to sacrifice. Else there's not going to be anything left over for the next generation. Which means there's not going to be anything built up for this generation or the next. Right? So there's a ton of stuff that we need to do. So if you listen to some of these meme coin heads, it's just like rah rah, FOMO, good vibes. Yeah, you're just gonna blow it on a Lambo. You're just gonna blow it on a chick. Pair of shoes, a bag, whatever. But we're trying to do real things. So, and by the way, on Solana, adding liquidity to Meteora, that thing is starting to print. That thing is starting to really print. It's really the USDC that's added on that liquidity pool is being put into lending protocols where it's actually earning money, where USDC is in demand, and that thing's starting to print. It's doing, what was it, 89, 80% again? So the other reason to bridge over is because we need to bridge over more tokens, more volume. That's what gets the party going. LPs are incentivized to participate. So with futures buying trunk on the BNB side, on the BNB side, you're incentivized to buy and hold trunk. Maybe put it into Trumpet. You're going to get, transaction fees on Trumpet as people get it in and out for long-term storage and yield. On the Solana side, you just say, hey, this is how much, I think price is going to do very well. It's going to be stable or upward over time. You're going to make money off of you're going to make money off of 1% fees on swap, and you're going to earn, the pool's already earned 2.6%, and it hasn't even been a month in just fees from borrowing and lending. So it's been profitable, and everyone on balance has earned 2.6% already in less than a month from having basically whatever dollar amount you've put in there, you've pretty much seen that grow. Some people have said that they've seen that grow by 50%. So that's just a good long-term nest egg that you don't have to think about. It's just growing. It's just going to grow with the overall growth of value of trunk. And remember, people are using futures today. They're not going to stop using futures tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year. Futures have been around for well over a year, and it's self-perpetuating. People have to be less passive and get more people, like-minded people, into the platform. But it's working. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't have referral fees or nothing like that. No, it doesn't have any scams to provide outsized incentives to anyone. No, it doesn't have that. But if you promote, it ensures your bags continue to grow. It ensures that you can create a second futures account and a third, and not of your own, under your own custody, and know that those will pay out just as well as the first. And if you don't do each one to each one, it's probably not going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not. This requires a certain amount of critical mass and adoption. Just like McDonald's would not be what McDonald's is if they only convinced 3,000 people to buy hamburgers. They have billions of customers. What do our numbers look like if we have 50,000 active participants? Everyone on this call right now will be rich. You'll all be rich. Everyone you know will be rich if we have 50,000 active participants in futures. So can we do that? Because I'm sitting here coding on a weekend. What are you doing? For us. This is a financial cooperative. This is not the Tony Perkins show. I'm not even going to be here long term. You guys are going to be the one here long term. The code's going to be here long term. But I will not be here long term. This is the first act of elephant money. I'm here for it, but I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 50 years. But I know I'm pretty confident that this code's going to still be running in 50 years. I got code that's been running for the past 15 years, still in production, all over the place, everywhere I've been. That's what I'm sure is going to continue to happen. You know, the blockchain is not going to stop running. You know, that's the whole point, right? That this thing continues to pay out as this thing continues to run, right? That's the whole point. That's why we're in this. We've got audits. We've got confirmation that this thing is just going to keep running. There's not some random bug that's going to just make it stop running. There's mathematical, verifiable proofs for this entire ecosystem. So, what's the wild card? Human sentiment, community sentiment. You know, we have to, you either believe and you use the tool, or you don't believe and you don't use the tool. People run around promoting this, that, and the other throughout our entire life across multiple protocols. There's always been something better. There's always been something that's just like something that Bankteller built. And then it fails. A couple months later, after you put your money in. Happens all the time. So can we not do that? Can we stay focused? Each one teach one? There are whales in the protocol right now that have way more money than I have. They have businesses that have nothing to do with elephant money. And they're just putting like a little dab into elephant. Hey, you're the guys that could step up. Because when I step up, when you see me buying a million trunk tokens, that's belief, because I don't own anything else. I don't have, like right now, I got futures, I got some trunk tokens. I'm out of Solana. I don't have Solana anymore. At the height of all this Solana insanity, I had 6,000 Solana tokens on leverage. On leverage. Chestnut checkers. I'm playing expertly to earn income, to pay for things, to go out to pay the 30K in marketing expenses every month, marketing and operational expenses every month, to pay the to go out to Nashville to do a meetup, to scope out for amazing space that hopefully we're going to be able to land. We'll be right next to the conference. And we're just going to throw a big party for everyone who's at Bitcoin 2024, just to educate them about BNB chain and elephant money. Let them know that we buy Bitcoin every day. But all that costs money. But there are people who just have money. Hey, would it hurt you to buy $10,000 worth of trunk right now when I ask you to? Because when I ask you, we have to execute together. We have to have coordinated moves. Things have to be done in a timely fashion. We have to show strength. This is a financial cooperative. This is an on-chain set of contracts, tools that you can use, but if we use them together, we can move mountains. Do your own research, not financial advice. I gotta say this dumb shit because there are people out there that have no sense of personal responsibility. All right. V10's coming out. It's going to be awesome. We're up over 20% in past 2 days. But I've been working nonstop for y'all, and it's exhausting. And, you got to thank everyone in the community who's pushed the ball, who's actually bought Trunk. Those are the people who are putting in the work. The people who are, hey, have you seen the Trunk chart lately? Those are the people you need to thank. I'm going to be here doing this regardless. But you need to thank everyone who's painted green on that chart, and you should join them. So we should all be happy. We should all be excited. We're going to celebrate Nashville. Nashville is going to be about 90 days from now, a little over 90 days from now. We need to all celebrate that. Celebrate that, the huge win that we're going to have. Right? We all have to grow in the same direction, and we really got to get our numbers up. We really, really need to get our numbers up. You need to show the chart. You know what? Show the WIF chart. Show the WIF chart. Show people this is how long, somebody who got rich in WIF, this is how long they needed to be in WIF before it actually popped off. Show that we're doing those numbers now in the bearish of times. And because it's the bearish of times, guess what? There's less competition. There's less eyes going here, there, everywhere. We can have a good chunk of eyes on us. So we need to get people who, maybe just haven't been as active or involved, get them involved, help them get a low-risk bag of Trunk. Help them get a low-risk bag of Trunk right now. And just watch what happens. And let them know, hey, you need to tell the next person too. It's not enough just to do it. Tell the next person too. That's the game. That is the game. Like I was listening to these guys on the spaces for Jupiter, and that's all they were talking about. All they were talking about was how much the meme coins have shown that it's about engagement, that it's about marketing, screw everything else. And they're right. When I can watch a major Hollywood movie, Netflix movie, whatever, things look photorealistic, real. I mean, we've had that for over a decade now. I've been watching really awesome movies with CGI in them since the 90s. And now we're on a whole nother level. It's not, in some ways, like, for example, the scalability issues that Solana's dealing with, I mean, they solved those problems in Fortnite. They solved those problems in a ton of network games before. World of Warcraft, whatever you want, name your poison, You can solve these problems. Amazon has solved these problems. Google has already solved these problems. So what are we doing here? There's open source versions of all these horizontally scalable global databases. So what are we really doing here? There's absolutely no excuse for drop connections. Just to execute a transaction, the biggest problem that Solana is dealing with is just a drop connection before the request is made. The first thing you need to do is make a HTTP connection. That's where they're failing at step one. The clients can't establish a connection with the validator network, period, because they're all flooding a leader that's supposed to process the transactions for the block, something like that. That's ridiculous. Clients should be able to establish a connection anywhere on the network and then have their request route to the leader over progressively centralized connections to the leader. These are architectural problems that people who've operated in both the fintech space, network engineering in general, over the past 30, 40 years, we've encountered these problems. We've solved them. And now the AWSs and the Googles of the world, they run the best implementations of these solutions. But these are solved problems. But this is what you get when the people who own the most tokens are the ones that are architecting solutions, as opposed to just getting the best and the brightest, or being smart enough as a technical executive, a CTO, knowing that you need to leverage people who know better, whose day-to-day job it is, and source out solutions from vendors. Something that I did while I was at State Street and Fidelity on a routine basis. Node.js and JavaScript powers the internet on the front end and back end, and we were doing it first at Fidelity for fintech, and Fidelity is a founding member of the Node.js Foundation. Node.js still here with broad-based adoption. JavaScript is bigger than ever. Is the go-to Swiss Army knife if you want to build something connected to the web and run it in a cloud-based environment in an internet-connected world. Anyway, we're winning. We only lose when we fumble at this point. When we make mistakes, we fumble. When we start chasing returns other places, when we can make those returns safely right here and keep growing and keep teaching. If you're a content creator, if you ever made content for Elephant Money, you can't stop. Like, when have I ever stopped coding? Since I said, I think I'm almost finished. But I'm never finished, and I'm still coding right now. Still releasing something more amazing. I'm more excited about what I'm building right now than I was about anything else. Though I would say the NFTs, Unlimited NFT collection, was a great experience from the moment I thought about it to getting it finally out the door. That was a great experience. That was a huge accomplishment. That was a lot of code. And I'm so proud of what we've built with the NFTs. And those things work. At the end of the day, they still work. You might not like it because you got to bag hold them, but guess what? They're paying you. They're paying you to hold them. An elephant will have its time in the sun, period. It's a mathematical certainty. If every single human holder dumps, Bertha just gets all of those at a cheap price, because the people who are in futures are never going to stop using futures, because if you're using futures, you have to use it to get the amazing gains that it provides to you. And now if you're in futures, you're going to have Bitcoin paying for your bags. You're going to have Trump paying for your bags. It's going to be awesome. V10 is going to be awesome. So we're winning. And the biggest question, I guess the biggest problem for this community is that we don't have enough engagement. I do these AMAs, I ask people that have questions, you guys are sitting there just listening. If you're sitting here just listening, when you have me right here, you can ask me any question, and you're not asking those questions, you know what that tells me? Then you're definitely not doing nothing after this call is over. You're just going back to sit on the couch and watch your TV show or something. I said in another group, I said, futures has made you lazy. And it's like, oh, futures doesn't make me lazy. I call bullshit. Futures has made you lazy. But much to your detriment, because look, if you still need to at least dabble a little bit. There was tons of gains to be made before this big red dip before the halving, which always happens, by the way. There's always a dip before the halving. So there's always an opportunity to learn and educate yourself, to know what has happened in previous cycles, what's going to happen in this cycle. So that was another thing that informed me to like back off leverage, to sort of unwind as we got closer to the halving. As things start going more sideways, it's either going to go up or go down, but we know that before the halving, things go down. There's a reason why Trunk is backed by USDC and not SOL. And there's a reason why I didn't add extra liquidity to the WBNB side. I want us to basically soak up all the BUSD in the world and dump it into our LP, so such that there's going to be the core BUSD WBNB BUSD LP in our LP, and so we'll always be able to go back to BNB, and eventually we'll just drag up the price of BNB. So, with that, I'm going to ask again. I see some people, and maybe we need some suggestions too, but I see some people, and maybe we need to hear from some people who are putting in work, people who are actually promoting Elephant. Let's hear from some people who are actively promoting Trunk and Elephant, and just hear from them, and let's see what the sentiment is out there. I mean, we're doing some good numbers on the charts and things, good volume. Where's that volume coming from? What kind of people are engaged? What do they like about Trunk and everything? Let's hear some stories. Let's hear some positive stories about the last couple of days of people who are in Trunk, and what the sentiment is. We see the X's, but what are the stories behind those X's? Let's have some joy in a time where the market is reeling. We have a lot to celebrate, objectively speaking and empirically speaking, but let's hear about the people who actually have enjoyed some wins. Like everyone who got into Trunk at the time that I was like, hey, we're getting in Trunk, and Trunk's at 4 cents over on Solana and BNB chain. Everyone who acted and moved has done like a 3x. So let's hear from those people. Starting with Not All at Once. Go. Somebody.
Hey, BT, and everyone else.
Sounds like
This is Nina.
Yeah, it sounds like Nina.
Yeah, it is. Well, I haven't done anything with Trunk in the past few days apart from watching it go up in price. But for the past maybe couple of months, if it wasn't for my futures and just my Elephant holdings, I had to sell some of them. I wouldn't be in my new house because our builder went under and we had to finish it. And as I speak, I'm here. So I love you. Thanks, BT. Now that I'm here, I'm going to start focusing back on crypto. I haven't been around for a while, so I'm basically back.
Welcome back. You've been sorely missed.
Yeah, I've been trying to get this house done and we move in. It's been a crazy 2 years trying to finish this house. But we're here now, and it's really thanks to Elephant Money. Yeah.
And that's the ebb and flow. It's a bank. You know, you don't just put money in. The whole point of Elephant is that you can take money out.
Exactly. And now I want to bring back money because the bank will finally release our last payments. But we have regulations in this Australia that's driving me nuts. We can only my bank, I can only send through $10,000 a month. And I'm like, they were very happy when I was bringing in a lot of dollars in the past 2 months. They didn't say no, that's too much. But now it will take me, I don't know how many months to just get it back in. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good luck. And yeah, futures is great, but between futures and trunk, I would say, the other thing, hopefully people can chase some X's, and I know that Elephant probably came in handy to pay down those big payments. So, the same thing will be true of trunk.
Trunk is gonna do something. I'm looking at it and just like, can some people just dump? Those haters you keep talking about?
Yeah.
When my money gets there, can they just dump so that I can get it better?
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
People
I'll let someone
always,
else talk.
yeah. People always ask, oh, why don't I sugarcoat things? Why don't I, paint a rosy picture like so many other, founders or marketing teams or whatever? And it's because I always want the saltiest people to think that now's the best time to dump. I don't want them to hang around thinking that it's going to be better the next day. I want to deliver maximum pain and truth. I never like say it's just always the unbridled truth, which is this is a tough space to be in, but you can make a lot of money. It's a very unforgiving space, but you can make a lot of money. But it's not going to be sugar coated. No, we don't. We want we want people with true conviction, not people who are opportunistic. This is the best way to put it, maybe.
Yep.
Right. If we're doing generational, then we need tough skin, thick skin people. Anybody? Crypto Kingdoms. I saw. I know Crypto Kingdoms is doing quite a bit of promotion, quite a bit of like YouTube videos and stuff. X, pretty good engagement too. Check out Crypto Kingdoms. But I think he got in for some X's. I don't know if he can speak.
Yeah, my girlfriend's away. I can speak.
Oh, good. So what? How? What kind of questions have people been asking you as you educate them on the ecosystem and Trunk in particular?
I don't really get too many questions, to be honest with you, because my following's about 4 or 5 years old now. So basically, people know if I'm in and I show them proof that I'm in, they just follow my lead if they're smart. This is financial advice. So at least for me, my past record proven itself. So I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I put some ET pictures up once in a while just to get some, people are just sitting in there. I'm just trying to get some reaction. My personal belief is we got 15,000 people in that group. We need to be doing like Twitter raids or something. Our Twitter views should be getting 10,000 views with that many people. I don't know if you want to run them, or I'll gladly do it for nothing. But we got to get something going in the group. Like if people just want to sit there and have an easy thing to do, they should just be retweeting and liking. It takes 2 seconds. Like I said, I don't mind doing that. I can do that all day because I got a lot of money in here. So that's the point, But like I said, it might not be me, but running these raids, but I think it's a good idea. I think we need to do it. It's simple to do, just have one trusted person putting the chatter shield up or whatever bot you want to use. And shit, with 15,000 people, we should be getting 50 reposts minimum. Because this group's pretty engaged, but a lot of people just want to, something simple. That's very simple. Create a free Twitter account and that's it. Between our followings, I got probably over 40,000. There's 15,000 here. That's 50 whatever, 55, 65,000 people. So we should have way more, in my opinion, in futures than we do. So I think, with these raids done properly, just focusing on trunk futures, whatever the topic may be, I think we can get that up to 10,000 pretty quickly. I'm pretty confident in myself that I can do it. I mean, I'll do it alone if I have to, which I have been. I mean, you can see my hits. I'm getting 5, 10, 15,000 views. I can put a list of people in here, and we don't go light into futures. I mean, I'm on my 4th wallet now, so I'm over $320,000 in. So, I know a lot of people don't have that kind of money, but the whole point is let's get some new people in to do, So that's just my, I like everything. That's why I'm trying to be here and grow it. I want to make more money too. So
yeah, I think given the way the market is working, I think that's definitely a good idea. We operate the Twitter accounts, the other social accounts. There's always room for improvement, and definitely on the engagement side, we're not doing what we need to be doing. So let's we already have we already are in each other's DMs. So I'll hit you up sometime this weekend or Monday, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about potentially yourself, or even if you know somebody, because everyone's time is valuable. But if you know somebody who's trusted that can do it, that needs the work, they can get a couple $100 a week, and that would make them super happy. And that's what they do already. If people know of squads of people, I get hit up all the time by people who offer those types of services, but you don't know who's a scam or who's just simply running some bots that are going to get your account shut down. There's all that, and the other thing is, I kind of treat this stuff like steroids. I want to make sure that I'm working on the fundamentals, that I'm hitting the gym the right way, like basically building products that work, and then see how that does, and then we can start getting to the juicing. I haven't. There has been juicing at some times, but we haven't done that in a long time. Pretty much not since the first parabolic rise. And we went to another parabolic rise without juicing. Let me put it another way. There's a ton of marketing teams that are currently out of a job since yesterday. So, if to the extent that we can also spend some time just to, engage in those teams that have been successful and are trusted, then maybe, there was a project called LoafCat. I don't even want to know what LoafCat's market cap is now, but it used to be double-digit millions. I think it was like 50 million at the high, maybe, and now it's 2 million or something crazy. So yeah, but that's great. Everybody follow Crypto Kingdom. His X posts pop up in the feed often, and we'll keep it going.
Yo,
Yeah,
Crypto Kingdom. I was gonna ask Crypto Kingdom. Are you talking about like a raid bot, like something that's an admin approved and it posts out certain things that we all need to hit up? Like, what were you thinking, CK?
Thinking somebody's got to do something. With we should be getting like a lot of these meme coins are just garbage, but they're putting out 2 tweets an hour all day long, 24 hours a day, and that's literally building these projects up. And there's nothing on the table. I mean, when they tank, they'll tank. But point is, you can really do, it's volume. That's what it is. It's volume. Like 1 tweet a day is not going to cut it. If we get to 3 to 6, I got a guy that can do it and who'll work for like peanuts. I got a guy like Chatter Shield's good, whatever BT wants. I don't care which bot it is. They all work basically the same. You put in number of likes, retweets, or likes too, bookmarks. People seeing them work in other groups. I just know from the amount of people in here, we should be all over. Like we should be like number one on Twitter. Like we should for crypto projects. Not a lot of projects. I'm in the big ones. They don't have 15, 16,000 people. Plus me pushing them all the time. I mean, we got, like I said, 60,000 people. We should be dominating. We should be all over Twitter where everybody knows futures exists. And then we can do this for peanuts, like nothing. Like, we got nothing to lose. Like it's all bonus for everybody. All you have to do, like I said, 5 seconds, click retweet, like, done. I mean, I'm here anyways. Like if I got time to put ET up, I can do this.
Cool, man. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, if you need help, I'll help run it.
Yeah, we'll get organized. We got groups. Go back to probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll meet up and talk about this. Get futures out the door first, but yeah, that's and also just probably just because we have the funding. Bring in a hit squad that we can actually pay to get some of this stuff done. We have some of the base marketing stuff done, but like there's base marketing, but then there's also growth hacking. I would put this in the growth hacking camp. So there's PR, growth hacking, and marketing, and we've been pretty light on PR and growth hacking, I would say. And we've done, very basic, minimalist marketing. Part of that is intentional. So, coming back from like a institutional finance side, Fidelity side, like, really not going to market a product that I'm not 100%. That's not fully baked, And what I mean by fully baked is, while everything's making us money, notice that we're on futures V10, right? And sometimes people are like, well, why do we have futures V5 or why do we have futures V6? And I'm like, yeah, because it's not done. And, we're looking at the data and there's this problem, that problem, things that you're not aware of, but I see. So, like, once everything's 100% on rails, then we really can go hard, and that's all we're doing. So, but thankfully for something like Trunk is really easy to market. Trunk goes parabolic, users go parabolic. There'll be tons of splash damage and things like futures and stuff. I think there's definitely problems with promoting futures until it's fully baked. But there's no problems, getting getting Trunk out the door. So, but yeah, we'll get going on all that. Anyone else? What's up? How are we doing?
Hey, BT. So I'll say I've been enjoying the trunk ride. I loaded at the bottom again, got a whole bunch more, and been enjoying it. So thanks.
Oh, good. Good.
And yep.
That's
I'll
great.
say, yeah, I'm ready to scramble as soon as V10 drops. I'll scramble, get some updates on the dashboards. And we'll be good to go. Keep that stuff running.
Nice. Yeah, Jebediah Tusker, he took over the dashboards, and they've improved, and the lights have been kept on. He's actually been very helpful, instrumental in helping with us some data collection for some other things that we've been dealing with on the back end, and it's all been great. So that's another thing. Like outside of the protocol and the DApp, every single other piece of code that's ever existed for Elephant Money has been done by the community. Whether that's Jebediah or Daedalus, or Crypto Stew, or Rick, or a whole bunch of others, have built dashboards and websites and what's that tool you use, Jeb? Not it. I would say Office
You think on the
360.
Power BI? You think on
Yeah,
Power
Power
BI?
BI. Yeah. Power BI. But I think that Dune is awesome because Dune is like I wouldn't say it's the industry. Yeah, I would say it's the industry standard.
It pretty much is. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And so that hold me to it. But the next time Dune has their conference, I'm gonna send you and a couple other people who help out there. Probably just mainly you, but go to the conference. Share our story. Talk about the dashboards. I offered this to Daedalus at one point. He was too busy to take me up on it, but
that would be cool. I will take you up on that one. That would be super exciting.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot to this. So this is very much a community project. This is decentralized finance, how it's supposed to be, right? So very, 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 very excited. Very I love all the work that you've done, that everyone has done on that front, on all the code that powers Elephant Money that's not written by me. Oh, and JJ DeFi as well.
Yeah, he does all the bots, right?
He does all the bots. Yeah. So.
Yep.
And I was supposed to take the bots over like a long time ago. So everybody, extra shout out to JJ DeFi, because I'm like, I'm just like, bro, I have too much stuff on my plate right now. There's so many things I'm dealing with that have nothing even to do with the code, but everything to do with protecting the community, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time to get these bots up and running. Maybe it would have been a couple days, but it's just like, can you just run this thing? And he did it. He's continuing to do it, and that's great. So, but yeah, people who are coming in clutch like this, they're also getting extra sprinklings of the NFTs. So we're putting our whole NFT fund to work. So, and those things are going to continue to be valuable. Elephant's going to rise, and their value is going to rise too. And by the way, when we start, things like Trunk really start to take off, futures continue to take off, don't be surprised when NFTs start flying off the market again and NFT minting starts, ramping up again. Because, we're well capitalized. We just have to be smart with our money. We have to ride these dips and bumps and everything. And so far, we've done a very good job of doing that. One last thing I'll say on that is, there's a reason why we have to have the discipline not to dump our bags, invest our money into BS, lose it, and then that's the end. There's sometimes you got to say, look, this is my money, and I'm going to keep it in Elephant Money. Not just for myself, but the obligation that I have as an owner to the rest of the community. We're all supporting each other. And so we have to go in with that. That's what separates us from the animals out there. Like, we're civilized. This is civilized DeFi. All these other things where people are dumping each other, they're uncivilized. They're animals. We're civilized elephants in the herd. Family. Like that's us. So we responsibly, leverage a bit, go out, try to make more with it, whatever. But just straight out dumping, like the sort of rage dumping that we saw, in October, and that's like, we can't do that with Trunk. We can't do that with Trunk. I'm hopeful that because of the general fact that more money is coming into the space, that we'll be able to, if something crazy like that does happen, there's going to be enough people in a good position to just buy the dip. But let's get like forget the M's. Let's get to a couple billion. Let's get to a couple billion, and then we could talk about shaving, right? Let's get to a couple billion. Let's get to the point where everything's bubblegum money. You want to buy a car, that's a pack of bubblegum. Like, we can do it. We can do it by, the only way we're going to do it is by painting a chart that says this community can be trusted. This is not the community that's going to wait for everyone to get excited and then dump on their heads. Because literally, that's how the second parabola ended. We can't let fudders come in here, talk shit about the community, talk shit about the protocol, talk shit about me, or anything else. We gotta know that we're winning, understand that we're winning, not be salty about the fact that every protocol, every community has to go through some rough patches. Like, this market is turbulent. We have to hold on. Hold on for dear life. We're not saying that just to be saying that. HODL. It's real. HODLing is real. But we do it, and then we succeed, and we win. Next, but again, thanks, Jeb, for all you do. Next person.
Hey, BT, you hear me?
Yep.
I'm Jan from Germany, so I'm sorry first for my English, so I try to give my best. First,
All good.
we have a big community in Germany or over the world. We have a education platform with over 100,000 followers. And I try to bring all the time elephant money or trunk in it. So every month we give a coin tip and something like this. And all the time my analysts and all my securities all have the, what is the word? The lights on that there's a risk because the contract is not safe. And you can imagine, or you think you can talk with these people and explain them your ideas and to have contact with us, that we can show our community. Because for my opinion, I'm over 1 year in elephant money, so for me it's perfect. It's very good, but they don't trust because the contract in some places is not safe, they say. So we can have a conversation over this.
Yeah, let's just send me a DM. I'll look you up, and send me a link to your community. But the code's all audited, so I don't know what they're talking about. Like,
yeah, and trunk, we get some for trunk. Only it's for trunk. So it's trunk is the problem. At the moment, I shill trunk before I try it with elephant, and yeah, all our programmers say, oh, there's something that's not good. So so it's
okay, so there's
the best opinion when you tell the people that check this, what is the problem, or because yeah, I'm a networker, so I'm not this person who check all this. So I completely trust in elephant money, but for me, I don't understand why they don't trust or have issues.
Trunk is audited. So the only thing that they could be Trunk is not only just audited. Trunk is pretty much a standardized contract. You know, it's a standard ERC-20 contract. It has I think it has some counters in it to count how many holders it has. Like if it hasn't seen a holder before, it'll track how many holders.
Yes,
have,
and it's very much. Yes, that's true. And for me,
and
it's
that's
all good. So,
There's
but
a little bit of plain salt, please.
sorry, Matt.
yeah. Yeah, let's just finish talking about Trunk, and then whoever wants to jump in can jump in. But yeah, it's Trunk. You know, Trunk is a standard a standard mintable ERC-20 token contract. You know, Open Zeppelin ERC-20 contract. So the only thing that they could be concerned with is like, well, who can mint Trunk? But as Trunk has been designed, it's deflationary. So the only place where Trunk can be minted is the Stampede contract. And the Stampede contract has been retired. The Stampede contract, there's probably some work that I could do with Jeb to create a migration contract to basically migrate everyone who's still in Stampede who hasn't migrated yet, to basically get to push them into Trumpet versus having them do it manually. That would be the only thing. Because right now the Stampede contract just stands where it is, and each person manually migrates. With the latest version that's been pushed, you basically have your current balance plus 5%, and you hit the migrate button, that'll send you over to Trumpet. So basically whatever your current balance is, you'll have that amount of Trunk inside of Trumpet. And that's the only contract that has mint permissions to Trunk. And because of that, Trunk still has administrative control by the deployer. We could revoke ownership of Trunk, in which case, and basically remove and make sure there's no one on the whitelist, and then that would basically close the only issue that there is with Trunk. That's the only issue with Trunk is that it's mintable, but realize that there's tons of mintable tokens out there. It's just a fact of life for any token that has emissions is mintable. So, but that's not a. Remember when I said that there are just. I hate to say this, but remember when I said that they're just haters? Well, sometimes those haters are motivated by a lot of things. Sometimes they don't want to get people in things that are just not the thing that they want to get people into. People have their own agendas. You might find out that, yeah, you're in a community of 100,000 and they want the 100,000 people to get into particular projects because they're getting kickbacks from the developers and owners of those projects. And so they, so they might say, oh, we don't want to use Trunk. There's some problems with Trunk. But that's not actually true. What's true is Trunk's just not what they're getting kickbacks for, so they're not going to promote it. Trunk's too good. if everybody knew about Trunk, they wouldn't invest in the other thing. So, like, human nature I mean, we're no better than chimpanzees. Like, we're motivated by greed, sex, all those base instincts. And sometimes a lot of people, can't put, the betterment of others ahead of themselves. I hate to say things this way, but once again, I'm not sugarcoating things. I'm giving you the hard truth, because sometimes people have a very people don't understand why sometimes we're not in a better place than we are. And it's only when you understand the true nature of people that you start to understand why simple things like not listing our circulating supply, why all these things happen. It's because, when there was everything was in red yesterday, and elephant was the only thing in green, was the only thing green. Yeah, they don't want that smoke. They don't want that competition. They don't want that.
Yeah, I understand. So thank you for your words, and that's the true. And it's an education platform, so it all must be very safe, because if you make if you give a coin, if you give a coin tip or a token tip, and you have some problems or some issues in this contract, then you have the problems with your community. So that's why I ask. Maybe it's possible to talk with them and to share this, because I'm completely in. I know what happened. I know everything about, but they analyze and they say there are issues with the liquidity, because the liquidity is only blocked for example, in Trunk for 1 day, they say. And
wait, what's in Trunk for 1 day?
For 1 day, yeah.
What's for 1 day?
The liquidity is blocked for 1 day only.
Blocked? No, the liquidity for Trunk is locked, first of all, in the token contract. The owner of the liquidity tokens is the token contract. So that's a falsehood. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. This is whoever you're talking to is just talking shit.
Yeah, they obviously don't understand how it works, BT.
Yeah. These are easily verifiable facts. So, which is the other thing.
Yes. So it's I also think it's easy to because I don't know where they look and what they check, and because I get the answer also very fast. So let's make the contract with them, because I'm very close with them, and so we can talk about this, and then for me it's perfect. For me it's and 100,000 people, everybody $100, and
yes,
I
mean, but exactly. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Like,
yes,
we have to get organized. Like how long is it going to take for us to get some basic organization, knock on some doors, and get people to put up a small amount of money to win big?
Yes. So let's talk with each other, and then we will fix these issues, because it's small. It's not very big for me. But I'm not in the contract, so I'm a networker. I'm not in the systems. You are the professional.
Right. Yeah. So we could talk to them, DM me, or better yet, create a group, add them. What's the name of your community?
Shane class, is it?
Okay, just do a group. Elephant Money dash Shane class or whatever it's called. Make that group, add them to it. I'll add you to my contacts. You can add me to it, and then we can talk, and we can have a voice chat.
Yes, that's very good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Because the time to strike is now, while the iron's hot. Now is the time to strike. So everyone like Matt, who is in some other community, talk to your community heads, show them the chart right now, show them the lifetime of the trunk token, and we can go from there. The only reason the trunk token has dropped at all is because of the community.
Yeah.
When the first exploit happened and the elephant treasury was drained, that's not what dumped Trump. The community dumped Trump. So Trump still to this day lives and dies by the community. But I think there's enough people in the world that Trump just needs to find its way to the people who can actually hold it, and then we all win. Or, the people who hold it win.
Yeah, it's a community bank, so it's
Right.
for me. It's
Yeah. So, any bank fails when there's a bank run, is the way people have to think about it.
that's it.
That's it. Next person.
Hey, BT.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, I like your brainstorming on the idea of forcing people out of Stampede, because then I assume you're saying that because if you do that, then that would basically finalize the minting of Trump.
Yeah, that would finalize the minting. Yeah, we would. We could revoke Trump contract, and no more minting.
I'm all for that. I'm sure a lot of the community would be too.
Yeah. So for us to do that without any negative ramifications, we would have to find all the people who haven't exited Stampede, all the wallets that haven't exited. Like, you can't create a new wallet in Stampede, but we have to find all the wallets that still exist in Stampede, and then basically mint on their behalf.
That would be perfect.
Yeah. So it sounds like that's going to be another bounty for Jebediah. Let's see. Next question or feedback, whatever. Any other success stories related to Trunk? Because we have been talking about it for a while.
I just got one last thing I wanted to say. I just want to tell you I appreciate you staying with the herd, because I know a lot of going way back to the exploit, that a lot of projects that would have shut them down. Like, you could have easily just walked away and said, washed your hands clean. But I appreciate you sticking with us, and I always call you a pit bull. I always say that once you lock onto something, you don't give up. So I appreciate you, BT.
Same. I appreciate everyone who's continued to ride with us. Well, the core of this community is definitely a family across multiple protocols, many years, many years. We've all officially been together longer than most marriages. So these days, so yeah, all good.
BT, I had a question to piggyback off of what SK had said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, so the trunk turbine, the 20% or 10%, whatever, buys trunk, and then that goes into a treasury, and then 1% buys elephant. What happens to that elephant that it buys then? Is that elephant burned, or what happens with the elephant that the 1% trunk buys?
Oh, it gets sent to Bertha.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's just an extra snack, extra sustenance for Bertha. And the idea is that long term, if Bitcoin fulfills its promise, if Trunk fulfills the promise, I think Trunk will fulfill the promise. You've heard this before, but between Trunk and Elephant, one of them is going to do amazing numbers, and up until the October dump, we were kicking Bitcoin's butt. If you lined up the first 2 years of Bitcoin versus the first 2 years of Elephant was in the lead, and Elephant still might be able to pull some magic out of the hat. So all it's going to take is, imagine if we just 100x our community. We 100x, like there's television shows. They have the first pilot. They have more viewers. Let's not even say there's people who go online for the first time, launch an Instagram, launch a OnlyFans. Oh my God, I said OnlyFans. But do something like that, and they have more followers in one day, right, or 1 month than we have in our whole existence. We need to capture that lightning in a bottle. We need to enlist those people. We need somebody who's going to go out and engage those types of people and get people excited, because we talk about education and we can teach people about futures. No, just buy some goddamn trunk. Like, no, just buy some elephant. Well, what's the 10% tax? Da, 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 da. No, just buy some trunk. Right? It can be done. Dogecoin, WIF, SHIB, SafeMoon. Just buy a coin. Just buy the coin. We've had Trump for a long time. When it was a stable coin, it was like, buy the coin? That doesn't make sense. Deflationary coin, less than 100 million supply. Constant buyback pressure on Solana and BNB chain. Okay, where do I sign? I'll just buy the coin. Fine, I can buy it on BNB or I can buy it on Solana. Great. What do I have to do? I can just hold it. If I want to really get froggy with it, great. I can put some into Trumpet, or I can put some into Meteora for liquidity and just earn there either way. Okay, that's not too complicated. Where do I sign? So yeah, now it's just about engagement. So we're going to get this group in Germany. I hear Germans are very good with their studies. They have no problem with English. We don't have to convert the site to German for them to join.
Yay.
At Fidelity, I had a German project manager. His name was Klaus. I enjoyed our conversations, lunch and stuff. So
Hey BT, everybody the name is Klaus. Every second person.
Every second person. So is Klaus like Chris or like John?
So Jan is from Scandinavian, but Klaus and Christian, it's very often.
Yeah. Maybe Klaus is like Carl. I don't know.
And when you come from the east, then you have Sandy or Kevin.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's one thing I really miss. Like I've always been surrounded by a healthy international community, and it's kind of hard to do that when you work out of your house all day. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I think also we need I think very much from USA, I think so, community, we have much in chain class, we have much, I think so, over 50,000 come from Asia. So if we have this market also, and everybody talks only with one person, and yeah, it can be so. Yeah, let's have talks, and the system is perfect. This system is perfect. I write letters, or I sign. What is the word? I paint, and I try to put all on the one picture. Your brain
yeah.
is working very well, BT. So I love it. I love it. It's perfect. If Germany buys elephant money, then Germany would be rich one day.
Yeah, we're gonna make it
The
happen.
government, you know. But because the euro is fucking death.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. I see CC Crypto Man on. What's up, CC?
Hey, do I sound okay?
Sounding great.
Oh, good. I went on to the Telegram page to post a short that I just published, and then I saw you guys are on this chat. I'm like, hey, what did I miss? So I'm picking up late, and yeah, I just posted a short talking about the fact that I've got a lot of friends who have parents who started a business, and then they pass it on to my friends. One of them is a commercial real estate, another one's a chain of the Taco Bell restaurants, and they built generational wealth. And I also have some friends who started their own businesses, and now their kids are working with them, built generational wealth. And I am expressing in that short video that I'm appreciating the fact that you're creating a situation here with Elephant Money for those of us who haven't had that same type of situation or opportunity. I'm looking at my daughter is 14 and got her bag of elephant and got her futures account going and teaching her about it. And she's got a friend who's 15, and he and I sat up and on a call where he wants to build his futures account. So I'm just expressing my appreciation for that fact there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I would say one of the ways. Oh, did you do that? Did you guys have that run yet?
No, that's April 28th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Don't break a leg.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. But no, I would encourage you guys to also look. We need those rich uncles. Like, so the way this works is we're all. One of the ways the Elephant is different from a lot of things is it's a financial cooperative. We're all swimming together. We get the luxury of being able to swim with the big fish and not get gobbled up at the same time. So because we're elephants and not fish, when people use the shrimps, minnows, octopus, sharks, all that stuff. The problem with those things is that they eat each other. A herd of elephants, we're just taking care of each other. Okay, so that in that same vein, though, we have a lot of business owners in the protocol, right? We have a lot of
Yeah.
business owners that use futures and things like that to amplify their profits. You got to get those people in. You got to figure, you got to find like one good friend, the one that you're really close with, maybe the one who runs the Taco Bell is like, say, hey, Bob, like, you should look at this. Like, this is working for me, and no guarantees, but like, you just gave me $500 for the marathon thing, but how about you just buy $10K of this thing to just help me out, or $5K of this thing to just help me out. Just think,
You're right. That's
do
exactly
that.
it. And I did that with those very people because we're very good friends with them. We play music together.
Yeah.
And our kids are almost like siblings. They're the same age. We travel together. And so I send them the Elephant Money videos, and they actually have seeded our account, including our daughter's account. So yeah, they gave us a sizable chunk of money to put into it. And
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's great.
Really great. They're that type of people, and that's kind of that's the nature of what I'm talking about, with the fact that some families kind of eat each other up,
Mhm.
but then there's the other side of it. Like these folks that I'm talking about, their dad, German immigrant. Speaking of Germany, he immigrated out here when socialism, when the Nazis took over. So he watched the change where people used to actually own things, and then all of a sudden they're standing looking at a cow saying, who the government now owns that cow. I mean, they're literally a paradigm shift that was completely surreal. And so he immigrated out here to the Northwest, worked his way into learning the metal trades, and he was working at a restaurant, and that man offered to sell it to him. And he talked to his wife, and they bought it, and that is now multiple Taco Bell restaurants up and down the Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
Now our friends who I'm talking about are now running it. My friend Joe is the president of the Coastal Bells franchise. And so the thing that I observe with the family, the trait, the characteristic, is treating each other well and teaching each other how to work hard in the business. They all had to work their way up, so they could now taking it over, they appreciate what they've got. Because I've heard a lot of statistics where some kids, when they inherit something successful, they quickly run it into the ground because they really haven't had to work to get it. But the Weber family made the kids, work the assembly line, work in the stores, clean the stores, do all of the things that it takes to make the store run. So now that the kids have it, they're doing a very good job. And then the other philosophy is treating their employees really, really well. So all of their regional managers have been with them for 15 to 20 years a piece. It's their career. And so they have a family attitude toward their friends and all of their families. So they're like, we don't have time to really get to understand decentralized finance, but I see your passion, so I'm gonna help you be successful in what you do. That's something that me and my wife we look forward to being able to do that with other folks. And I know folks in the herd are the same way, how we want to just keep paying it forward.
Right. And I think that's a great story. And I think the one thing though is just push a little harder. And now that we have Trunk,
For
I
sure.
think it's an easy sell, but just get
Yeah,
them to
you
own a
bet.
bag of trunk. Get them to own a bag and get them to be greedy about owning a bag of trunk.
You bet.
You want to be you want to own 1% of this deflationary asset that's easy
Absolutely.
to get, that's easy to own, that's easy to understand, that's already doing numbers, that has a strong pedigree, you know.
For sure. Well, yeah, they've got a wallet. Thanks,
Yeah, just
thanks to yours truly.
yeah.
I got them a wallet, you know, for
So
sure.
so get all those you know, I would say you know, figure out a way, but it's not going to be good for just you or me, or it's going to be good for everybody in the herd, everyone in the world, for us to seed. What am I talking about? I'm basically saying that, like, you know, we're at the stage now. You know, let's get some whales locked in that don't need the money.
Right, right.
Let's speak plain. You know, this is stuff you're not going to hear anywhere else. Not anywhere else. Who else is talking like this? Right?
Yeah.
This, like, I'm telling you how the game actually works. Like, you, like, get those folks who don't need the money, who have cash flow. You know, get them in now. They'll get in
Yep.
they'll get in well before $1. They're going to see X's. They're going to, you know, I basically, like, I had a leverage position in Solana. My girlfriend had a leverage position in Solana. We did our research over the past 2 days. I had de-risked a long time ago, but we had to make a decision. Are we going to stay in Solana? We're going to deleverage. Okay, so we made the decision we're going to deleverage, but are we going to hold our position in Solana? Like, you know, because are we going to expect like some V-shaped recovery? I'm like, there's a lot of uncertainty out here, and this has been a we only mess with winners environment. This is not an indiscriminate everything's going up. Very targeted things are being promoted and pushed and have the traction, right? So, and everything else is just a scam. We're going to fail. So we deleveraged. We deleveraged. We got out of Solana, and you know, she took her Solana and bought trunk with it on the Solana side. Her bag immediately went up by 0.4%. Or actually, no, by 4%. Immediately went up just from her own buy. Her dollar value went up by 4%. So it was a huge win, and that was just a small chunk of money. But can you imagine somebody's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna throw some FU money at this, and it just, can you imagine? And you just have a party where everybody gets set up and just does that securely.
Yeah.
Locks away some trunk, not to look at it for a while. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, the foundation is built, and you know, it's really it's a matter of continuing to do the right things sustained, you know, and continuing to you know, as we all notice how you watch the market, you watch the world events, you know how to make moves that are important and necessary. And then those of us, like, you know, you've said, this is a more mature community. We're willing to roll with the punches. We're willing to ride through developments because we know that's what it takes.
Right.
You know, we know great things have to take time, especially because, you know, when things get hot, it won't just be a flash in the pan. It will be able to handle the heat because it would have been, it will have been built correctly, not just thrown together. Very big difference.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Let me know if
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
any support with that. But I would
Okay.
say, you don't want to wait too long. But
Yeah.
see what you can do. But the more you can just say, hey, that thing I was saying about, look at this chart. It's gonna be $1 is what it was for its lifetime, but it's uncapped now. But because of circumstances, it's 11 cents now. I don't know what it's gonna be next week, and all I'm saying is just throw in a bag and just it's gonna be like, I hate to say this, but it's really gonna feel like getting Bitcoin at the bottom. But
Oh
just to
yeah.
make it easy for people to understand.
Well, and yeah, and what's great is that we can, as we've done this, like with the each one teach one, we can also help folks who just don't have the technical savvy or the bandwidth in their life to try to learn how to get a wallet and do all of this. So it's great to have people who would trust me to do this, so what you're saying exactly vibes with the kind of relationship I have with some folks who are just saying, hey, I'll just give you some money and you go with it. My family's done that, my in-laws and my brother-in-law, and I've got a few other coworkers. So that's also a great thing because I feel on my end the security and the wisdom to be able to do this and know that I'm not just groping in the dark. I'm not the most technically savvy and don't have the kind of experience that a lot of folks here in this space have, but I've got enough to know and that this is a great place to be. I know that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure.
Great. So no, I appreciate your encouragement a lot. It's very, very great. Great to chat with you about this live.
Yeah, same.
Cool. Awesome.
Let's see. Anybody else want to chime in, or else I'm going to check out because I need to get back to work. Oh, I see Shankar in here. I think he must have just popped in at some point.
Yeah, I just joined. I have no context of the conversation, so.
We were just talking about how all the whales need to buy a lot of trunk.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that, and I definitely done my part, and I don't know a lot of people yet in the crypto space other than here in Elephant Money. So to me, it's always futures is a good way to bring people in, but trunk is definitely super interesting right now, and if I know someone, I will pass on the message for sure.
Yeah. I think in the short term, okay, so for all the futures lovers out there, there are people who are, still building their accounts, some who have in maintenance mode. I would say maintenance mode looks like, the minimum, $200 deposit over whatever frequency. It doesn't matter the frequency. If all you're doing is the minimum $200 deposit over some frequency within a month, that's maintenance mode. Growth mode is you're throwing down to grow your account by a lot, once again within a month's time, whatever frequency. If it's a multiple over $200, that's not maintenance mode. What I would say, this is the way you got to think about it, things. If people are just if anyone who owns Elephant is just holding Elephant instead of selling Elephant, that's good. If you're DCAing Elephant, that's even better. But let's just talk about holding Elephant. Anyone who's in futures, well, you got to do a little bit better than hold, right? You have to have some type of minimum maintenance to maintain your 0.5 and to get the benefit that you're supposed to be getting out of futures. So yeah, go into maintenance mode. Maintenance mode needs $200 every 2 weeks, 1 month. That's maintenance mode. Now, why am I talking about maintenance mode for futures and for Elephant? It's because then we can direct more energy at Trunk and really get things going. Maintenance mode is on futures is going to feed the futures ecosystem is going to feed Elephant. You know, everybody's just doing their part. It's like, you ever watch Star Trek and the they get attacked by the Klingons. Captain Kirk is talking to Scotty down in the engine room, and he's like, I need more energy to the forward thrusters and the blah, blah, blah. And we need to, get the shields up in the aft, or, get forward shields up, they're at 30%, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm talking about. We're getting hit from all directions, and we have to coordinate the dance. We have a system that can do a lot of things all at once. But us as owners and as people in the engine room and in the bridge, we still have to coordinate. We can't just be here, there. We're all doing different things. We all have different specs. No. There's still only one coach. There's still only one captain. That's me. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. And the more people that do what I'm doing, the better chance we have of winning. Now, again, huge bloodbath yesterday. Who didn't participate in the bloodbath? Us. And that's just because we've run more plays successfully than we haven't, right? So I'm telling you, the play right now, the play that I'm doing is I'm focusing on Trunk. I have my futures in maintenance mode. I don't even have any Elephant to sell because I had to take whatever money I had over to Solana, kick a bunch of ass, make a lot of money. I didn't hurt anybody doing it, but but yeah, I made a good chunk of money on Solana. And now, as promised, I've already rebought my bag and grown it even more of Trunk. I rebought that bag. Go to Bankteller.BNB. I rebought my bag. I just bought some Trunk either yesterday or this morning. I forget, but I just bought some more Trunk. I'm pretty close to 500K worth of Trunk on the BNB side. I have 1.1 million on the Solana side. And I bought every single piece of Trunk you see. I rebought my bag as promised. And I will probably, unless I come up with a better use for Elephant, I'm probably going to buy back my Elephant bag too. Right? So there's a lot of opportunity still there. There's a lot of opportunity there. We're sitting on a lot of opportunity with Elephant. I'll just leave it at that. We've got a crap ton of liquidity. There's some opportunity there. In particular, there's opportunity there for people who own elephants and maybe they want some tax-free trunk. That's a hint. There's an opportunity for Bertha to accumulate elephant by helping people get out of elephant tax-free. Ooh, see? I'm always working for you. I'm always working for you. Right? Well, damn, I put my last into elephant. This trunk thing looks amazing. It's great. Whatever. How can we create a win-win situation? Maybe you get out of elephant tax-free and get into trunk. Same dollar value. That could work. Let's try it.
Well, did I come too late to know how that is done?
Nope. I just came up with the idea because you did come.
Okay.
I just came up with the idea because you did come. So that's what it means to be on a team. That's what it means that, Shankar, he's like a linebacker or something. He's like, these whales, they're like the heavy artillery, right? This is a big guy. So we got to accommodate. We got to leverage that strength on the field, right? So there's people like that. There's still serious bag holders of elephant, right? That are itching to dump or that are actively dumping. How do we put them in a better position? How do we put them in a better position without moving any liquidity? How do we put them in a better position without moving into liquidity? How do we just get them into the game? And that's how we can do it. That's literally how we can do it. Bertha and the protocol, they have the luxury of being able to acquire tokens tax-free. So we can make it, we have to figure out something that's exploit-free. We don't want to create any exploits by doing this, but we can definitely, try to create some type of elephant to trunk bridge as a way to unify the value capture, if you will. And if it results in basically Bertha getting a stronger command of the tokens, then we're winning. All right.
Awesome. Well, I'll be watching for the telegram.
Yeah. I would say that the quick takeaway is the quick takeaway for everyone is to load up on your trunk. I don't know if we'll ever see. I'm not going to promise that we. If we see 4 cents, it's going to be a sad day. But chances are, if we start to get organized and row in the same direction, we'll never see 4 cents again, and we've never seen 2 cents. So let's never see 2 cents. Let's promise to each other that we'll never see 2 cents, and let's try to do everything that we can to never revisit 4 cents. If you're in Trumpet and you have no extra funds, just sit tight. Sit tight and earn, because you're already in a pole position. You've just front run the whole situation. You got your tokens for whatever you got your tokens for, and you're already staked in earning. You're never going to be in a better position. The best thing you can do now is to DCA. So you can definitely DCA your trunk if you want to. So you can do that if you want to. You can DCA into trunk, to fix your cost basis. So that would be the main suggestion. But you need to do your own research, not financial advice. What else?
BT, I have a question.
Yep.
Thank you for reviewing the path forward. I am following that. I'm kind of a small fry, but I'm active, and I recently bought more trunk and bridged it over to Solana. I'm in both the Radium and the Meteora pools, and I was wondering if you would just explain a little bit about why getting the trunk over to Solana and getting into the pools is important, and what the benefits and risks are.
Okay, so the main thing is that this, like, and I started this off from the beginning. I don't know what time you joined the chat, but like, we would not be enjoying this party if we didn't memify trunk. So we add the cute picture. Then I did a lot of work. Paid a lot of analytics teams to get our data looking right. Paid CoinMarketCap $5K. We'll probably play them more before all this is done to get our data looking good, so that you see the right token information. You see the right logo, description, the links. None of that comes out of the box. It's like a little extra work. Otherwise, they're just going to find your pool. They're going to try to scrape some data off of the chain. But when you just bridge a token with Wormhole, there isn't a lot of additional metadata. They don't allow you to set that metadata. It's a very, I would say, half-assed implementation, if I'm going to be honest. They should allow you to enter all that information, especially if it's just one shot. At least when you're creating the token, they should allow you to enter in all the basic information that would be on a CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, because they're set as the authority, and ultimately they're the only ones that can update the information. But the information is written by a contract that's already been written, is immutable for the most part. But the main point is that we had to be over on the Solana side where people are actually excited about meme coins, where the Solana and now Base are the arenas where all this engagement is happening by retail. There's no retail engagement anywhere else, right? Everything else is just kind of hibernating chains, if you really want to talk about it. So, and there's liquidity there. Like, if you look at the liquidity on like an Arbitrum or something like that, these are just liquidity providers being incentivized by these protocols, basically being incentivized by VC money to just keep their money parked there. But really, Solana and Base is where all the degenerate gambling is happening in the meme coin casino, the meme coin roulette wheel, right? So we basically, if we're going to get any attention, we have to participate in the meme coin roulette wheel. There's a reason why meme coins are, and the money coming into the space is not coming from Bitcoin. It's coming from other protocols. Bitcoin is gaining in dominance, right? It's sucking value out of all the altcoins. And meme coins are also sucking all the value out of altcoins. So that's why some of your favorite protocols, particularly ones that are based on fundamentals and actually do something, aren't moving at all because their liquidity is being drained so that people can gamble. And that's been the state of this cycle so far. And that all blew up yesterday. So, and Bitcoin's really going on a tear, asserting its dominance. There's been a flush of liquidity. They're saying by the market makers. So major whales flushed, liquidated a bunch of people to capture that liquidity. That's what has always happened. You had to be careful this whole time. It's what always has happened. So we are where we are now. But so Solana is the theater. They've had some technical difficulties. Because of those technical difficulties, the theater has moved to base chain. Theater of engagement has moved to base chain. Will it come back to Solana? I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. It's reset the clock. We've gone back in time, but the theater is still very much on Solana. It's not like, but here's the thing. For a lot of traders, for the people who are making the most on some of these meme coins and stuff, or just in the movement of the market so far in general, the people who have made the most might have got wrecked the most. The most sophisticated people who are actually using leverage are the ones that got wrecked the most. The people who are less sophisticated might still have gotten shaken out. So it might be a while before people peek at their portfolios or even have any or even think about putting any more money into these things. We'll have to see what the coming weeks look like to actually see what the recovery looks like. But so far, money flow is dead, and just the whole casino blew up. But for the people who actually made money on the other side of the trade, who didn't get liquidated, for the people who actually shorted the market before dumping and stuff, and they got a lot of money. They got the million went to them. So, the billion went to them. So, they may entice people to get in to do it all over again, and we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. The most savvy are still going to be looking at the charts, and they're going to notice something called trunk on the Solana chain. And they're going to notice that thing is green when everything else is red. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb on all the analytics sites that I set up to report our information correctly. So, people need to stay active, do DCAs, and we'll get that attention. If people just buy and hold on the Solana chains, that's not effective. They're used to seeing like the kind of volume that we're doing on BNB chain. We got to keep that up. That's good. So everything that's happening on BNB chain, great. Futures V10 is about to get into the fray. That's great. On the Solana chain, it's going to require a little bit of extra effort, and so we're going to have to, set up DCA. I just basically set up DCAs to run every couple of days, and have my automated buys happening with Jupiter, using Jupiter Exchange, using the DCA tool. But basically, the other good thing is that because we have two theaters of engagement for Trunk now, at least we force it's at least a forcing function in terms of the BNB side wanting to keep up with the it incentivizes people on both sides to just kind of keep up with the price action. So and you don't have to do that by bridging tokens. You should bridge tokens because we do want supply. We want supply over on the Solana side. I think the goal would be to get anywhere between 30 million to 50 million over there. Though that's very optimistic. Probably 20 million would be satisfactory. And then we still have to complete the narrative with the coin geckos and the coin market caps. Make sure that they're I think CoinMarketCap is appropriately reporting the total supply and the contracts, showing that basically Trunk Wormhole plus Trunk proper on BNB chain are the same. But that's basically it. Next question. If that's all, then I'm probably gonna cut out. Because like I said, I got to get back to work, and I've been talking for a long time. All right, folks, take care.